Okay, folks, here's the deal.
I'm at the bottom of the Grand Canyon.
This is going to be a special
One of the most intense trails.
This is the operating station.
That's a bear.
Wow, do I really look like a guy with a plan?
The traveler has
I just do things.
This is a huge, beastly, bulging man. Plates were from Kansas.
All right, and there we go, folks. I think we have begun. Very cool. I'm really excited about this. This is my first go here at a real interactive live stream. The first go at the friendly POTA Elmer. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know how many people I'm going to get dragged in here on my first live stream, but we'll see how it goes. Well, and there's there's my Austrian friend in there. Good morning, sir. Great to see you in the chat. Jürgen, how's the weather in Austria today? Perhaps definitely the first person to ever get a chat in on the friendly POTA Elmer. So basically what I'm wanting this live stream to be is a place for you to be able to feel comfortable to ask any of the POTA questions that you have. I want to cater to beginners. I want to cater to people who feel like they have silly questions. And, you know, if I get the same question every week, that's all right. That's what we're here for. Just to kind of help people get started in the hobby here. Hey, no problem, Jürgen. Glad you're here at the start. How's my audio? You're the official audio check person here. Everything okay? Getting some echo in my ear. There we go. Got rid of that. That helps. Already in bed. Already late over in Austria. Well into the across the gray line there. Very good, my friend. Glad you stopped by to join. Audio, he says, is okay. Sweet. Appreciate it, Jürgen. Appreciate it. But yeah, this is something I'm just hoping to continue on a weekly basis. Slap right on in front of the Tuesday premiere crowd. So we'll start at, let's see, it's 5 o'clock my time here, Central. That's 2200 hours UTC. That would be 6 o'clock if you're out east. And be on for about an hour and a half and lead up to the first Tuesday night premiere group video, which happens to be my video tonight. You can see down in the lower right-hand corner of the screen there, I got a little box there. It's got a live feed on my screen there. So when I see that change, I know I've gone too far. So I'll go till 6:30 my time tonight. You know, if we've got good traffic and get some questions and can keep things going, we'll go that long, and then we'll hard stop at 6:30 Central, or that would be 23:30 UTC, and go over to the premiere side. And there should be a link that pops up in the chat at the end that will redirect all of us over to that live stream, which is important, or that premiere, which is important because, you know, it's mine. But that's what we're hoping to get started here this week. Again, you know, being the first time, I'm a terrible business person. I'm a terrible marketer. I'm terrible about knowing how to tell people what I'm doing. So I just kind of do stuff and let people find me, which can make for slow starts. So that's kind of my expectation here. But if you have any kind of POTA question that you want to ask, you can pop it in the chat. Just maybe put question in all caps right in front of it, and then ask your questions. What are we looking for? Well, you know, all questions are good questions. Again, we want to cater to those beginners. You know, no stupid questions, no silly questions. I kind of like silly questions because they make me feel really smart. Those are the ones that it's fairly easy for those of us who are experienced to know the answers. And I don't mind spending some time to pass that on, even if it gets a little repetitive from week after week. So I really want to cater to those beginners and have this be a place that someone can come and ask any question that they feel like. But even for us experienced guys, you know, there's there's new things that we're trying in ham radio all the time. It's an experimenter's hobby, and while I certainly don't know a whole lot about ham radio, or I'm not enough to become an expert in ham radio, that is, as it relates to POTA, there's a lot of things that I can help with, or at least help you get figured out, or at least help get you pointed in the right direction. You know, researching parks gets complicated for folks a lot of times. Where exactly are those boundaries? What does a closed park mean? Is this a 2-fer? Is this a 3-fer? Is this a 7-fer? You know, there's all kinds of questions out there like that, and we can get into all of that. In the downtime, when we don't have any questions, I think what we will do is, you can see I got my 891 ready to go there in the screen. We'll actually hunt some parks and see who's out there. My conditions here are not real good right now, so I'm going to be pretty limited, but we'll give it a shot, see if we can hear any strong signals. I tried to hear a couple before I went live here and couldn't hear much. Vince is activating right now. He's up in Calgary, so Western Canada, but fairly close down to our border. You know, not too far into the country. I should be able to get him on 20 meters from here, but I couldn't hear him or anybody calling him. So we'll see how that part goes. Yeah, Jurgen, got you at White Sands. That was pretty cool. It was nice to hear you again, my friend. I've been out west, and I don't think the connection has been as good as it has been, but I'm in the middle of the U.S. now in Kansas, and we'll be going east from here later in the year. So the opportunities to get into Europe should be going way up. And I'm wondering, Jurgen, if you saw the contact that I got to Spain from the bottom of Grand Canyon. That was pretty cool. In my most recent Grand Canyon video, it came out. Was it 2-3 weeks ago? I think 2-3 weeks ago, right after the Area 51 video. That was really cool. I can't remember the gentleman's call sign. I think it was Echo Alpha 1 Bravo United Lima. I think that was the call. He's right there on the north coast of Spain, and that was pretty cool. Nabbed that right at the end. Got that DX. Yeah, you did see that. Cool. I'm pretty proud of that. I hope he is too. I hope he knows. I hope he knows. I tried to tell him where I was going. Do I confirm QSOs on QRZ? I can. If you have a QSO that you want to confirm with me on QRZ, send me an email. Send me an email and give me the specifics of that QSO, and here's why. I did another video a couple months ago about some frustrations I've had with QRZ, and you know, I put a lot of effort when I upload logs to QRZ to make sure that my location for each of my contacts is precisely how it should be. So if I look up my contact with you, let's see, this is November 3, Whiskey Echo Romeo, the ham radio Elmer. You know, I can look that up and my location will look right to me, but the location that you get depends on what time, what day, what time that you upload your contact. So if I have just, let's say I had a contact while with you while I was in California, and now I'm in Kansas, and you just now upload your contact with me while I was in California, but I've already changed my location in QRZ to Kansas, regardless of the fact that I have diligently put California as the location for my contact with you, it's going to give you credit for Kansas, because when you upload, that's what my current location in QRZ is going to tell you. Actually, it's a little behind me right now. It'd probably be like New Mexico or something like that. It's a little bit of a pain, and to be honest, I've kind of given up on QRZ. But you know, if you were to tell me like you got me in New Mexico and you really need New Mexico for some kind of award, if you shoot me an email, we can get that set up so I can make sure that my location information on QRZ. In fact, here I'll even show you. Let's open a new window here. So go into my logbook. Okay, then I'm going to go to settings. Whatever is in here, regardless of our, like if you would upload it right now, you're getting credit for Clark County, Nevada, regardless of, whatever I have put for our location. In fact, I can look it up right here. Search N3, I think it was WER. Well, I don't have you in there, so, I've kind of stopped looking in there, so, or logging in there. I've stopped logging in there, so it may not be in there. So that would mean I need to, I don't even know how to look. I've never done this on Logbook of the World, so to be honest with you, I don't even know how to look on here because I don't have one log for everything. Let's see. What if I tried to log you right now? This is interesting. This has led to an interesting point right off the bat. What if I tried to log you right now, N3WER, and it brings you up here, and I can click on you, Chris. I don't know how. I'll have to figure this out. I'm new to this software, like a lot of people on World Radio League, and I haven't had to look somebody up like that. I thought it would bring up maybe our most recent contacts, but short answer long. Yes, I will confirm on QRZ, but you're going to have to email me, tell me which contact that you want to get worked out, and I'll find it wherever it is. It might be in my log's a little bit of a mess right now because I'm in flux, but it might be here in World Radio League, or it might be on my little logging laptop on N3FJP, which wherever it's at, I'll upload that to QRZ. Make sure that the right location is entered, and make sure that this little logbook properties window is set to wherever we made our contact, and then we'll be good, and you'll get it for the proper state. Otherwise, it's probably about a 50-50 shot that you'll get the right location, and 50-50 is not good enough for me. Yeah, even an Elmer needs an Elmer. You're right about that, my friend. Very much so. There are grades of Elmers. I'm nowhere near a black belt Elmer. POTA logs in World Radio League. I have just started because the desktop app has only been available for, I don't know, I want to say a couple weeks now, maybe 3 weeks. And so that is the portion of their software that you can use on a laptop with no signal, with no internet connection. And that was something I was really waiting on. Otherwise, I was still logging on the N3FJP, because most places, Chris, that I'm at, where I'm activating, I don't have signal. And a web-based logger just doesn't do me a whole lot of good. So it was great. I've done, I think, 2 activations now with that desktop app, and just being able to bring it home and open that computer, and I don't even have to push a button. As soon as it automatically hooks up to my Starlink here in the RV, it just uploads that log to my web account, and it's done. And then from there, all I have to do is upload it to POTA. So much easier. And I'm just putting QRZ and Logbook of the World behind me. If someone like yourself, really wants a contact verified, they want it for whatever reason, we can work that out and then make sure that we get it right. But what a lot of people aren't getting about QRZ is they're seeing the right locations for their side of the contacts, but the people that you are making your contact with are likely not getting your location correct. If you're leaving your state or leaving your county or leaving your grid, then there's a good chance they're not getting the right information on their end of the contacts. Chris, you're a beta tester. Cool. Yeah, that's been fun to I'm not a beta tester. I am working on I am using one of the beta versions right now. Does that make me a beta tester? It sounds too official. I don't want to be a beta tester. I'm just using the software, and if I find a bug, I'll report it. But I think I downloaded version 4. I think I downloaded version 5 on my studio laptop here now, and it's I've been happy. I've been happy with it so far. Beta testers have done pretty good. Yeah. So again, if anyone has any POTA questions at all, you can pop that right in there. How are we doing here so far? I got 8 watching. That's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah, just put question in all caps in front of your comment, and then if you have any questions that you want answered for anything related to POTA, had one there for logging. That was great. And I got something I'll share here in the interim in my announcement for this live stream on the Facebook group. I got a really good comment here. So here's the post I put into the Parks on the Air Facebook live stream, just kind of talking about this live and what I want it to be, what I want it to become, which would, hopefully remove a lot of the stress from asking beginner questions on this Parks on the Air Facebook group, because some guys get pretty patience gets a little short sometimes. Seeing the same questions up there all the time, and read the freaking manual kind of responses and things like that. And I've got the manual here ready to refer to, but we'll walk through that back here together. KE0MAD, good afternoon. Great to have you on here. So here's the comment I got in response to all that. Came from Dave White, and it was a really great comment, because I feel like I can comment on both sides of this. So I thought it'd be fun to talk about. Referring to my live stream, he said, "Sounds interesting. Covering POTA opportunities on all bands and all modes. I hope, not just 20-meter phone." And he is KZ9V. Yeah, and I thank you, Dave, if you ever end up seeing this, for that comment, because there's 2 ways I want to talk about this. So, he's referring to the phenomena that a vast majority of POTA contacts are on 20 meters, and they're on phone, and there's some, consternation about the fact that people don't try other bands enough. They don't get on the higher bands enough. They don't try maybe work bands enough. There's, a lot of times some local guys will want a nearby park, and they get frustrated because people won't get in there and run 40 meters from that park. Therefore, they don't have a chance to hunt parks that are close to them. And, I can definitely see that side of the argument. However, I've been enough places around the country where my opportunities at that location are very, very slim. Let's talk about right here in Colorado. This is where I kind of started learning this lesson. I spent a summer right in the middle here, right in central Colorado, right smack in the middle of the state, and just had a devil of a time making contacts there. The reason was, in summertime propagation, the SFI doesn't do quite what it does in the fall, the spring, and the winter. I got a video on that too about summertime propagation, and what the result of that was that 15 meters was skipping over almost the entire edge of the country, and would just clip parts of the Northeast up here, maybe a little bit in Florida, and like the Outer Banks in the Carolinas. I mean, just clipping the coast and skipping over so much of this dense POTA population in the eastern third of the country. So, 15 meters really didn't work for me there. 10 meters was even worse, and it was more southward directed since it was summertime. So, now the only people I'm making contact with are down in Brazil and Argentina and places like that. So as an activator, it's kind of tough to make that decision to activate on that band. And 40 meters in the middle of Colorado isn't going to get you much because you don't have much population around you. So basically, the only choice that I had was 20 meters. And, that's what I ended up doing most of my activations on. Last summer, when I vacationed up into Washington, it's the same kind of situation up there, but it's even worse because you're so much farther north that the summertime doldrums get much worse the farther north you go. And 10 and 15 were almost unusable. I never heard anybody on 10 or 15. And even 20 was pretty rough because, unlike Colorado, when I get one hop in Colorado, I can get over close to the Mississippi River, so I can get all those contacts in Texas and Arkansas and Missouri and all you guys in Minnesota. I can get those contacts and at least get some there. But from Washington, that one hop that you get in summertime until the D layer snuffs you out, it's not hitting a whole lot of populated areas. It was pretty challenging even on 20, but I certainly wouldn't get anything on 15 or 10. And again, 20 was what I had available to me there. So, yes, we need to try to venture out of those easy bands and, our comfortable modes and try some different stuff. But you got to understand there's a lot of times that people are pretty limited to what they're able to use. And if an activator out west, like I was quite a bit last year, is sitting in their spot running 40 meters and hearing nothing but static for 30 minutes calling CQ, they're going to be not very likely to use that again next time. So that's the other side to keep in mind there. Any interest in POTA, guys? POTA. Is that bunkers? Is that what you're talking about there, Chris? Bunkers on the air? Is that what POTA is, or is it literally boats? Saw a video pop up here recently about bunkers on the air. I'd have to ask somebody else about that. I'm not real sure. All right, no POTA questions so far. Let's start on the radio, shall we? If you guys could, boats on the air. Oh, that's KE0MAD. Done some boats on the air. That would be fun. That would be pretty cool. All right, how's the radio coming through? Can you guys hear that okay? I got a quiet voice on there. It's actually a Whiskey 1 Alpha Whiskey. Stroke 4. I think I got them Morse code the other day. Are they the ones on a boat? I might be melding two contacts into one. I did get Whiskey 1 Alpha Whiskey, and I got someone on a battleship Morse code. That was pretty cool. Radio was good. Okay. Hopefully you can hear it pretty good. It's not like my digital mode live stream last week where I was blaring people out at the beginning there. All right, let's get our POTA spots up here. I am tuned. My ATOS is tuned to 20 meters right now, so that's where I'm going to start. Got a couple spotted here on 14,347. Tennessee and Colorado. Colorado's probably pretty close. Andy, boy, it's about time you made it, buddy. I was getting worried about you. I'm 25 minutes into the live stream. You're not here yet. Good to have you, brother. I hear a little bit there, but nobody's too strong. So when I hunt, and this would be my request to hunt to other hunters as well, So I got my spots up. I know there's not another signal down here to 14,344. Of course, that's 3 kilohertz. That would only make sense. But I'm not just going to skip down there real quick. I'm going to tune down and make sure there's nothing in between. Oh, I got it on fast. I'm not doing what I said I was going to do because I had it on fast tuning. So there's the signal on 347. So I like to tune nice and slow between spots. Make sure there's not somebody else in the middle there maybe that needs a spot. Every once in a while you'll find one of us lonely activators out there in the wilderness trying to get found. Nothing there. So my next one, working down from the top of the band. The next one's not till 325, but I don't want to just skim on down there. Let's see if we can find somebody along the way. Or you find somebody interesting. I made my first DX QSO this way. Tuning kind of slow in between, and I found an Italian station that was just starting up. And I was his first contact. I didn't have to wait, didn't have to work any pile up or nothing. Here we go. See what we got going on here. Station in New York. I can hear him lightly.
You came back up. You're 5'8" again. So anyway, yeah, enjoy the beach. I wish I was there, but I'm stuck inside. But happy activation 73.
Boy, he's light.
Take care, 73.
Kilo Echoes. Ooh, I am not tuned. I thought I was tuned. Let's see. Get up off his frequency. Wonder what I was tuned for. There we go. For something nearby. Really dropped a little bit. Sounded a little better before I tuned. Kind of here. Couple extra apparatuses for the live stream here. Work around. Here we go. Sydney Cove in New York. Hey, Uncle Gunter. 7-3, have a good night, buddy. Kilo Echo 0 Victor India Mike. Next week I'm in the fifth wheel, Mark Twain National Forest. Very cool. Very cool. I'm hoping to be, I'm not in the park tonight, but next week, I think I'll still be here, not in the park next week. But as soon as the live stream is done, I might be moving to a park. Kilo Echo 0 Victor India Mike. Yeah, that's a little weak. New York's probably a little ambitious given what conditions have been like here lately. Let's try go down a little bit here. 319 is the next one. You're not hearing me in the Keystone State, huh, Chris? It wouldn't surprise me. I'll be interested here in a week to get into a park where I can put out a different antenna and do some A/B comparisons. I just got the ATOS installed, and I'm still playing around with the radial system on the roof of the RV. So that's where I'm at. I've just gotten 40, 65, about 80 feet of wire up there right now. Just kind of strung out on the roof of the RV. I kind of got tucked and wrapped around a couple things to keep it down and flat as I possibly can. Mostly so the wind just didn't rip it off the roof. But so I've just started using it. I haven't been able to hear a whole lot. I'll be interested to put up like the DX Commander or the NFED half-wave and have two cords running in here and be able to go back and forth and do kind of an A/B comparison on it. Might be a CW kind of day. Again, if anybody's got any POTA questions they want to drop, put question in your comment in the chat and type it in there. No bad questions, no silly questions, beginner questions are welcome. We can research parks. Beginner questions, experience questions, whichever. I got another hour here till the premieres start, and that's when I'll cut it off. That's my video in the bottom right-hand corner there. That's what I'll be starting at 6:30. Not here. Oh, so it's in McPherson, Kansas. They're about 45 minutes away. There's no way I'll be able to hear them. That ain't happening. I have made some contacts on it. See what I've done here so far on some different lives. Well, the one I was in was pretty good. So all these contacts will be on that antenna. So I did get out east. I did get out to not Pennsylvania, but to upstate New York there, just above you, Salt Lake. It's like South Padre Island. Went out to the North Carolina coast, South Carolina coast. There's like North Carolina coast. I worked some of the state QSO parties. It seems kind of loud. Let's turn that down. Worked some of the state QSO parties this weekend. Louisiana and Mississippi. About 4 or 5 in each of those. That's a pretty easy hop on 20 meters from here, so that's not saying too much. I saw on 288s in Oklahoma. That's probably going to be pretty close too. A recent spot. 1 minute ago. If I can't hear anybody calling him, that's a bad sign. What's up, Jimmy? Okay, there's a little bit of somebody there, but man, that's pretty cool. Let's try anybody on a higher band. There's an Ohio on 15. I wonder what that would sound like. Yeah, let's go a little above them. Hit the magic button there. ATOS's tune. Wow, that's a lot louder, isn't it? Been spotted for 6 minutes now. Ohio on 15 meters. N8LZI. Okay, we got echo and the audio. How about what happens if I push this button? Does that take care of the echo there? Did you lose anything, Jimmy? You still hear me and the radio static? See what you think. Or is the echo still there? I'm not hearing Chris in Ohio at any rate. That did it. Okay, good. All right, that's good to know. I got 3 audio settings down here, and I was wondering what the third one was. I guess that was it. That's the echo effect. Don't want that. Alright, that's the only activator on... Oh wow, that's the only activator on anything but 20 meters right now. And 40. Okay. We'll go back, not that. So when I program the channels on my FT891, I program the band edges. I think a lot of people do that, but then so that way I can tune through a number of the bands. And so I got like the high end to 17 voice, the low end to 17 voice, and then I think that's the bottom of CW, the CW portion of the band for general. You know, all these are for general because that's my license class. So then I got the top end of 20 voice, the bottom end of 20 voice for general, and then Morse code down there, and it changes the mode and everything, so that's pretty handy. Tuned with that knob there. Let's see, I was going high. And then all I gotta do is spin the big dial there, and it'll tune it. How far did I go down last time? 288. Go a little past it, and I'll hit that magic button again. Don't hear anybody here? Yeah, that's handy, Jimmy, and to get your, all your other settings and things in there good. I think power levels will change with that. Your mode certainly will. So I never really have to change my mode from CW to SSB. It just does it on its own. But then I have things in there where I change the power, and then I hop to another band, and my power changes with the memory. So good in bed.
Roger, got you 5-5 into Michigan, like India.
That's a 4-in activator there. What country is LC? Let's find out. St. Lucia. Okay. Not hearing him, not hearing him. Now, I don't have the opportunity, really, to put much other antennas out here with other things that go on where I'm at. I have kind of a selectively mischievous dog that lives here, so you never quite know what he's going to get interested in and chew up. So I like the fact that I got this ATOS that's totally up in the air, nothing on the ground. I know I got no spots down to 264, but I don't want to fly down there. I want to see what I can hear in the bands in between, too. They really haven't been very good, have they, Jimmy? There's just something magic about going to a park. And I'm in a fairly quiet spot here. There's not a lot of noise. You can tell I'm not getting a lot of noise on the radio here. And then there's little bleeps and bloops every once in a while. But it's really not been very good. Okay, I heard Idaho. I might be able to hear this activator here. N7QXB.
There we go. That'll make you sound a little better. I had my AGC off and it sounded horrible. In fact, go ahead and give me another a couple seconds of audio so I can get
Maybe we can bag one on camera here.
report. All right, very good. Yeah, no, you actually did get 5.9 plus into the park here, so I appreciate you hunting, and you are number one on the hit parade today. I've used an 857 on the average. Currently I'm using a Yosu FDX. Anyway, thanks for hunting.
Still pretty quiet.
Whiskey 0.
Kilo Echo 0 Victor India Mike.
Mike. Okay, Andy and Romeo.
So I had about a 2-to-1 SWR right there. Sometimes I can play with it and get it down a little lower.
Let me get this right here. Kilo Charlie 9.
2-to-1 SWR doesn't bother me.
Romeo QSL.
I don't know if I'd want to go much higher.
Kilo Charlie 9, Gulf London Radio. You are 5'9" into Park US 11524 in southern Idaho. All right, 73 and N7QXB, QRZ.
Kilo Echo 0 Victor India Mike.
0 Mike. Whiskey 0 Mike. Ending Delta Echo. Whiskey Alpha 2 Delta.
Decent pileup. What do you think? Should I tail end it?
US 11524 in southern Idaho.
I'm going to work on my hunter skills a little bit. Being able to work out of the RV more. I got 16,000 contacts and probably 15,000 of them are activating.
0 Mike. Whiskey 0 Mike.
Kilo Echo 0 Victor India Mike.
Whiskey 0 Mike. I heard the check man in there. Whiskey 0 Kilo Echo Germany. You are 5'9" into Park US.
Kegman gets in. Everyone recognizes him. Listen to that. You know it's bad when you can't hear Kevin.
All right. Well, thank you for hunting, and pleasure as always.
That's a bad sign.
Whiskey 0 Mexico.
Kilo Echo 0 Victor India Mike.
Yeah, I got a Whiskey 0 Mexico.
Yeah, work him.
5'9" into Park US 11524 in southern Idaho. QSL, you're 5 and 5, 55 in Texas. All right, I'll take the 55 in Texas, and thank you for hunting. Thank you.
Kilo Echo 0 Victor India Mike. I'm sure I still had 100 watts there.
Victor Echo 3, Lima Bravo India, US 59, into Park US 11524 in southern Idaho. All right, and 20 meters is in good shape tonight, so thank you for hunting.
No, it is for you.
73, 17 QXP, folks on the air.
Kilo Echo 0 Victor India Mike.
Okay, we'll get the park to park next, but let's do Victor Alpha 3. Victor Echo 3, Papa Tango Alpha.
Papa Tango Alpha.
You're 5-7, Ontario. All right.
That's so effective. It's so hard not to pick that guy when you hear his call.
11524.
Victor Alpha 3, Papa Tango Alpha. That's effective.
All right, thanks for hunting.
There's a POTA tip right there.
Alpha Fox 5 Whiskey Mobile.
Kilo Echo 0 Victor India Mike.
Right, we had a park to park in there that I was going to do. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah, I forgot park to park. Done that.
Okay, the park to park.
All right, I'll give it one more shot here. Dan Judd in Idaho.
Okay, Kilo Radio 4, Foxtrot Delta, UR 57, into Park US 11524 in southern Idaho.
Good signal. It's actually registering on the S meter. Was he an S5 there?
Hotel Foxtrot Delta.
I'll give him an S6 with that. Try to jump on this one. We'll try that.
Okay, that's the US 2194 Red Top Mountain State Park. So thank you for the park to park. Enjoy your activation. E7QXB, keep you folks on the air.
Kilo Echo 0 Victor India Mike.
I think there was an Indian Bravo Mike Sierra. Okay, how about Mike Sierra? Okay, we'll do Mike Tango.
Shoot, I thought he was going to do a quick QRZ right there. That's an easy way to get in there too. People usually aren't ready for that. They hit it with a quick QRZ again.
Thank you for hunting, and that 20 meters is in great shape tonight. N7 QXB, 60 bucks on the air.
Kilo Echo 0 Victor India Mike.
5 Whiskey Mobile. Okay, we'll do the mobile next, but I've got a Kilo Foxtrot 9. Kilo Foxtrot 9 radio, UR 59.
Well, shoot, that's a park I don't have. We'll move on from him. Let's take a minute to re-identify here. This is my new first, and hopefully what'll be a series of new live streams. The Friendly POTA Elmer. We're here for any POTA questions you might have. We want to cater to beginners. We want to cater to those silly, repetitive questions that we get often, and answer those. I like silly questions because I feel like they make me feel smart, and that's cool. So, you know, whether you're new or experienced, if you got a question, drop it in the chat. We can research parks. We can see, is it a twofer? Why can't I find this trail? What's up with this national forest? You know, whatever questions you have, we can answer. I'm going to go right up until 6:30 local time here. It'll be 23:30 UTC. You see in the bottom right-hand corner there, a thumbnail for what's going to be the first premiere in the Tuesday night premieres. So that'll start going, and hopefully we're done by the time that changes at all. But I got it there, so if we see it change, we know we need to quit and head over there. So I've got a video tonight. That's actually going to be the first one on the premieres, where I'm doing a Morse code activation at a Holiday Express in Dodge City, Kansas. So that's the first one, and then Jeff K3JRZ has the next one, and he's continuing his series on Mike into MAK's 5-2 challenge. So he's been great on that, and constantly calling out there trying. And a couple weeks ago did have some contacts. I don't think he had any luck last week, but hopefully that's changing. But it's great getting a bunch of people out there calling, because I can tell you, I've traveled a lot of places around the country, and 5-2 is generally pretty quiet. And I've unfortunately, it has trained me in a bad way, in that it's just something I don't need to pay attention to. But if there's people out there calling, there'd be more guys like me that'd be listening, and eventually that's gonna stir up some activity. What's up, Chris? Glad to have you here. Eric's video. Which Eric? I don't know which Eric you're talking about. I didn't think I was over top anybody else, but man, that's hard not to do nowadays. Live stream's a hot thing. But we'll be going till 6:30, and then I'll probably cut it out a minute or two before that, actually, and get to that premiere. But there's still plenty of time if you got a question to drop it in there, and we can see if there's some park that's throwing you for a loop and you can't get it figured out. Maybe we can do that. In the meantime, N1JUR. Oh, okay. Okay, that Eric. Way up in the northeast. Nevada, that might be a pretty good range.
Doing a dual degree program, IT management and music. And he got there, and they had to say the music department was going to close that night.
Ragchu. .260 is my next spot. Going nice and slow, so I don't skip over anybody.
Bueno, mío, tranquilo. A ver, escucharte y saber que estás bien. Saber que hay mucho cariño para ti por esta marcha, ¿verdad?
That's not Dell in Washington. Nor do I think he's talking to Dell in Washington.
Pues mira, ahora mismo estoy aplicando, tengo varios ahí.
That's a risky take. You do an activation on one of the 10 multiples.
America, Norway, Japan. You're a 5-9 in Houston, Texas. Thank you for Indiana, QSL. QSL, you're loud and clear, sir. Thank you so much for being a part of the special event. Thank you. Next station, please. Next station, please. November 9, Golf X-ray Alpha.
Let's see what special event this is here.
Kilo Foxtrot, Kilo something Lima, come in, please. Kilo Foxtrot 0 Lima Victor Zulu, you're a 5-9 in Houston, Texas. Thank you for Kansas. Thank you for Kansas. QSL. Thank you so much. Kilo Delta 8, please.
Huh. Don't know what special event it is, but if you like that sort of thing,
Kilo Delta
check it out.
8, please. 10 Kilo November.
I haven't even heard a call sign, so I'm moving on. .242, New Mexico. I tried to get these guys in New Mexico yesterday, and they're at White Sands.
Bumper and forwardness.
No luck.
Nothing like that.
Kilo Mike 7 Charlie Bravo.
There we go.
One more time. Got it now. Kilo Mike 7, Charlie Bravo Zulu. 5-5. Depart.
Dropping. Fading.
Okay, Larry, this is Kilo Echo 2 again. You are 3 and 3, 3 and 3. Thanks for looking. Have a great night. 7 good. Kilo 5, Kilo India.
Okay, don't sound too busy. Man, they lightened up again, though. I thought they were coming in pretty strong. Let's get one on stream, shall we?
Sugar Land, Texas. And that's the 73s and great activation. Thanks, guys.
Kilo Echo 0, Victor, India, Mike. Okay, I got your 5 and 5. I got your 5 and 5. I have you 3 and 2. 3 and 2. Kilo Sierra. QSL? And the fader. Shucks.
November 5, Yankee Echo Bravo. Roger, roger.
Yeah, wow, they're just totally gone to me all of a sudden. That's how it goes.
Roger, roger. Gonna go 5-5, Tango X-ray. Have fun. Kilo, Quebec 4, Sierra Whiskey Zulu.
I might have gotten in one log there. I think I left the second operator hanging. Gary in Alabama. Man, it is just quiet today. One more here within my portion of the band. And that's Alaska. Wow. Anchorage Coastal Wildlife Refuge in Alaska. How about that one? Up there on the tip of that little bay. There you go. That's how you do Alaska. You fly right into Ted Stevens Anchorage International Airport in Anchorage. And you got an activatable park right there. Which one is that? What's the name of that one? Anchorage Coastal Wildlife Refuge. So I don't think it's this green area in here. It's all this light green on the coast. Come in, rent you a car, go over here, activate. You can hang back out at the airport afterwards and just fly home. Maybe catch Alaska in the shoulder season when it's not quite so cold. I imagine activating up there in the summer is tough. I mean, if Washington was as hard as it was, I can't imagine being up in Alaska. What do we got for conditions today? It says the winds have what been the problem here lately. They're at 420 and they say quiet. The K's at 2.33. You can see the X-ray flux down here. We're down in the green, in the B range. Had a couple little burps here lately, but doing good right now. Get rid of that annoying noise. Huh. Not many people on other bands. What's up, Hillbilly? Welcome to the stream. Your conditions in Missouri as bad as mine are here in Kansas? Again, this is the friendly POTA Elmer, first edition. You got any POTA questions? Drop them in the chat. We can answer beginner questions. We can answer repetitive questions. We can answer silly questions. As I said, I like silly questions. They make me feel smart.
Tennessee. Again, I'm in Tennessee. Home QTH is Washington State. Thanks for your activation. Have a great afternoon. Nope, it's a radio at my home. Thanks.
He's talking to Texas activator.
7-3.
I'm not even hearing the Texas activator. Seriously. Wow. And if we don't get any questions, we'll see what we can do hunting parks. One of those days you wonder if your antenna's plugged in. Could try 40. I got just enough metal on this thing, on the ground plane, to tune 40. I'm not even looking at spots anymore. I'm just tuning until I hear something. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, I'll pull this back up here. All the particulars, they don't look so bad. I mean, there's nothing on that screen that makes me think, oh, band conditions are going to be crappy. I go back to QRZ here. Get the main screen, look at that chart. Come on, Elon, pull it up. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm still streaming. All right, Jimmy rescuing us. He's got a question about a twofer. Two parks close to each other in Bastrop, Texas. Not sure if I can claim twofer. Let's look and see. Oh, here, this thing finally loaded. BZ's positive. X-rays in the B range. K is at 2. Let's see here. It's got the fair and poor readings on everything higher than 20 meters. Take that for what you will. But they've been all good for quite some time. It says 20 meters, and everything says it should be good until we turn the radio on. The radio doesn't think it should be good. All right, let's look at where is, was it Bastrop, Texas? Did I have that right? Or was it, yeah, there we go. Where's this at? Austin. Just down from Austin, okay. Let's hit the POTA map here. Austin. Okay, so is that one of them? Bastrop State Park. I got Bastrop State Park, and I've got, ooh, how you gonna say that? Boucher State Park. Is it one of those two, Jimmy, or is it both of those two? What software website was that? Are you talking about this, George? If you're talking about this, that is Open Ham Clock. I think that's what I'd be getting that question on, is this page right here. That is Open Ham Clock. This is the one that sprang to life and is just growing by leaps and bounds every day since it looked like Ham Clock was going to go over. But someone has saved Ham Clock, so that seems like that's going to be okay. But now this thing also exists, and I kind of like the UI here. So those are the two, Jimmy. Those are the two we're talking about. We got I mean, they look like they're separate, but maybe that's what we're talking about right there, where they kind of come together. Boucher State Park and Bastrop State Park. I got to think those are probably going to be two individual entities, but we'll dig into that a little bit. That'll be fun. So the thing you want to do, if you want to research a park, you always want to go to the authoritative source. There's all kinds of little things like this that you think you can tell, you know, by these two greens coming right together. You know, I never go by these shaded areas on any of these sites, even parks on the air, but I certainly don't use them on like Google Maps or anything else like that. It can be an indicator, and you know, it's telling me, I'm using that information, that this would be the area that we would want to look at here to see if maybe there's any overlap between those two parks, if there's any way you can be in both at the same time. But I'm not going to use this map to do that. I'm going to click on the more info here, and that's going to bring up the important governing site here. Yeah, okay, we're barking up the right tree. Good, Jimmy. Appreciate it. So here's a Maps tab on Boucher State Park. So what we're going to want to look at here is to see if it has some kind of polygon and see if it crosses that road. And we'll probably want to do that for both parks. So I got to push Control and nope, that didn't do it. I got to do it this way. Okay. Interesting. Of course, it's probably showing polygons here for all state parks. But that's not really giving us anything there, is it? It's just showing one go right up to the other. It doesn't really show any boundaries between the two. Thanks for nothing, Texas. Let's try this PDF map here, see if that shows anything different. Why does that look like it's a totally different shape there? Is that me? Oh, that's just the lake area. No more pages to that. That's not going to do us any good either. That is zoomed in way too far. Learn more about park trails on the trail information page. Use the trail maps anywhere, anytime. Is there ever a time you say you can't use trail maps? Download and save Texas State Parks Trails Data KMZ file. That might be something interesting to check out, Jimmy. That might be able to give you a little bit of an answer there. But Texas doesn't do a real good job of showing you those boundaries, do they? Let's try, what if we go to the other park? Let's try Bastrop. Do I get the same thing if I go to those maps? Probably. Oh, nope. This way, there we go. Still not telling me anything there. Directions on that map. Here's a Trail Maps PDF. There's a little arrow over there that says to Boucher State Park. But I don't see that road coming down there. How much of the park is that thing actually showing me? Not a lot. I don't think it's showing much more than that. Look at the shape of Highway 71 there. It's not showing that much. That's a challenge sometimes looking this stuff up, isn't it? What if we go back to this one? I had this same link there for trails. Where was it? Oh, I got to get to the Maps tab. Trail information page. Download PDF. Okay. All right, I like this one. This is giving me a boundary. But it doesn't go all the way up, and that's quite some ways away, isn't it? There's no trail that... There's something that goes up in there. A road? Yeah, this is the fun part sometimes. That says Old Antioch Road. There's some road going up in there. But it's only showing to about right here, and we're a long ways from that. All right, let's try another resource here. There's probably 4 or 5 of you guys just screaming at me. POTA map, go to POTA map. Where have I got it here? There it is. There it is right there. And this will, again, this is just something I'm going to use for an indicator. I'm not going to use this as, let's see, I got to load Texas. I'm not going to use this as my source unless I've got absolutely nothing else authoritative. Loading Texas parks. Hey, but you got a trail going through there, Jimmy. Did you know that? There's your twofer right there. You got El Camino Real de los Trejas National Historic Trail. See that 5 times fast. So you got a twofer with that. But according to this, it has both of them coming right up to the road. So it's not looking too good there. And because, I mean, because they are both state parks, I would really, it'd be strange if it did overlap, since they're both state parks. That would really surprise me to have overlapping state parks. But you do have this trail going through. El Camino Real de los Trail. I can't say it one time fast, and I'm sitting here reading it. But, you know, it cuts through some trails. It goes across the entry road here. You know, if that's a trail there. Let's see. Yeah, this is kind of fun. I kind of enjoy this. This is my favorite part of the stream. Keeping an eye on the time. We got live streams coming up here in about 13 minutes. Yeah, I can get you a number on that. Let me get zoomed in here. Well, will it show me a number? I don't know that it will. But I will search for El Camino. I mean, how many El Caminos can there be in POTA? Here we go. National Historic Trail. Try 4568. Oh, and then there's a 4569. Wait a minute. I think it's Real de los Tejas National Historic Trail, not Real de Tierra Adentro National Historic Trail. Man, I sound like a gringo saying those. I think it's 4568, your number there, Jimmy. But that makes it a twofer right there. And that's something that that POTA map does for you real well, is pop in these trails and give you that info. Now let's look at, this is the park right in here, all this area. You know what all this is? If that's, it just looks like wilderness in there. Then you got a golf course. Where does that show up in POTA map? This has got to be the golf course right here. The golf course is actually in the state park. Is that right? Right there? I think that's what that's telling me. Yeah, that's where that is. Oh, that's got to be Bastrop State Park Golf Course. I'm hopefully finding some parking is what I'm looking for. If we know the trail goes through here, is there a place I can sit and activate and be on this trail? Do not activate on a golf course. I'm a golfer. You don't want to be there. There's a trail going around. What did that say? Bastrop State. Oh, that's just a boundary. It looks like there's a trail going around the boundary of the park. I don't know how well it's kept. Pioneer Village Cabin Area. That doesn't look like it's going to be within 100 feet. But, I mean, if you want a twofer out of the deal, that is the way to do it. Looks like there's some parking around in this area right here, but I just can't imagine. You know, I got the scale down here. Does that show on the screen? I didn't show on my screen the way I've got it cropped. But I got a scale down here for 200 feet, and so that parking lot is probably 500 feet from the trail. That alignment I can see right here. Well, it's almost to that entry. There's a, look at that. It's a cabin. Darn it, I was thinking that was a day use area. Right there, that would probably be close enough right there. But that's what you got to do. You gotta find where you can get up close to that trail, and that'll be a twofer. I don't know what there is. That's something else we can do here. Look at where the two connect. Is that right here at this road? That road angles that way. What road is that? Alum Creek. That's a name. Alum Creek Road. Okay, so that looks like that's indicating park in through here. Nothing that looks like there's going to be any way you can be in both. Or maybe if you could be, if there's a place you could park here off the side of the road and then go over here and activate that one. At least you can get two really quick in a Rove type situation. But you don't see a trail. Which map are you looking on? What trail are you talking about? You talking about the National Historic Trail we found here? El Camino Real de los Tejas National Historic Trail. Which map you looking on? Mike, the maps I'm using right now, I'm on POTA map, which is potamap.us is the URL. And then I've been going back and forth between it, and this is Google Maps. So I just turned the satellite mode on Google Maps. Probably have to leave this one there just due to time. POTA map, I don't see that trail on mine. I don't know what to tell you. Did you load Texas? You got all the Texas parks loaded, I assume. Okay. So you're saying 4, 5. Let's look that up. I didn't look it up in here. It says it's in Louisiana and Texas, according to the POTA site. So this confuses some people sometimes. This isn't for Jimmy specifically, but just anybody in general. You know, a lot of times most of your parks are going to be in one state, and we're obviously looking at Texas. This has multiple, so it includes that Louisiana in there as well. Now you'll have some that'll have more, and it'll say, you know, in that case it'll say U.S. Texas, or maybe in a situation where it has less room, it'll say U.S. Texas +1 or U.S. Texas +5, and that's telling you how many other states that park is in. So yeah, I think you're good in both states there. It probably won't show in POTA map. You know, the dot. Oh yeah, the dot is over by Nacogdoches, Louisiana, by a historic site. There, that one's the trail. So there's the dot. So there's a lesson on the POTA map right there. The dot's here. You're activating the trail way down here. Yeah. Yeah, cool. So we're helping Jimmy with something there. But that's it. We're probably ought to get into wrap-up mode here. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you for that question. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that thoroughly. That was fun to kind of dig in from scratch and figure that out. But those are kind of a lot of the resources that I'll use. I'll use POTA Maps. I'll use Google Maps. I'll use well, that's potamap.us, Google Maps, and I'll also use the POTA website on occasion. And but I'm always looking for those authoritative sources. I want to get that information from Texas state parks to get where those boundaries are, because different maps on different sources are gonna look different. And if someone brings up a question, I want my source to be from the authoritative source. So my judgment here is that Bastrop and which one is this one down here? I can't even remember the name of that one now. There it is, Boucher. No twofers. They butt right up to each other. If you could just hop across the road here, you could get two done really quick, maybe. But you do have a twofer with the National Historic Trail coming in here. So thank you for that. Thank you for that question, Jimmy. You're welcome for the help. More than happy. That was a lot of fun, and that's the kind of stuff, you know, I'd like to do here. And if someone wants to come on and ask me what radio I should have or what logger that I use, or how do I know if it's a twofer, and we get those over and over and over again, that's okay. We'll answer those. It's not the same question every week because you're asking it this week, and that makes a difference. So hopefully that's kind of what this will evolve to going forward. If any of you here had a question, I don't think I missed anything here, but I was pretty zoned in there last 10 minutes. If I missed something, or if you have a question you didn't put in that you'd like to have answered, send me an email, and maybe we can look at it throughout the week, or I can have it in queue for next week if that'll help you out. So cool. Maybe we helped Mr. PRK Radio out today, and that makes me feel good. You made my day, Jimmy. That was great. So next week, I think I'm still going to be in the same spot, so I won't get to that A/B comparison on the antennas. We'll have to talk about that. I think we're talking about moving locations and moving into the park next Tuesday, but there's a number of things on our calendar on Tuesday, and we're planning on moving maybe at about like this time, moving into the state park. We don't have to go very far, and then we can stay there for a while. But maybe if we can do that a little earlier, then I could get that A/B comparison going for the next live stream, and that would be fun. But I'm going to cut this off for now. We're going to go over to the Tuesday evening premiere group leading up to Ham Radio Clubhouse. So there should be a link that shows up on the chat here that will redirect you to. It's actually another premiere on my channel, or you can just look for that on my channel on YouTube and go that way. But really appreciate you guys hanging out here with me today. I'm glad there was 8 or 10. I think every time I looked it was 8. What do we end up at? Maybe it just always says 8 unless I refresh. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. 7-3. We'll see you at the next event here. We'll move on over to the premiere on my channel, and then Jeff's going to follow up, and then the Ham Radio Clubhouse. Catch it all, and we'll see you on the next one. You're welcome, Jimmy. Glad you were here. Glad you guys all hung out with me. We'll see you next time.